CFL Combine one-on-one with Saskatchewan Roughriders General Manager Jeremy O'Day. You add Derel Walker, which I feel like he kind of went under the radar in free agency. Might be a great value add. How did that come together for the Riders?
I think you're going to free agency. You have you sort of list of guys that you're going to communicate with, you're going to talk with, and there's a lot of trying to figure out what exactly guys are going to, what their value is going to be in free agency. Is there going to be guys that it goes both ways. Sometimes guys will get into free agency. You thought that they're going to be at a certain level, and it takes off, and they can go on your board and off your board, right? So. And a lot of times what happens sometimes with free agency is you'll see a guy sign with the team and then you see what he signed for, and sometimes you look at it and said, I wish we would have known that was, we would have been in the range with that. So there's a lot of communication that you have to do. So we just kind of kept open communication with a lot of players this year, and towards the middle of free agency, or after a couple of days of free agency, we open up talks with Derel, and Derel has a good relationship with Paul Jones, our assistant GM, has a good relationship with our new quarterback Trevor Harris, and really had an admiration for the Roughriders. He talked about our environment and playing in front of our fans, and so it was really just the feeling was kind of mutual, and after we got into the discussions on his contract, we felt like we could find a way to get it done, and we added him late and felt like it's a good piece to add. I think we kind of retooled our receiving core, as you know, and we felt like we could add a veteran player that's had a lot of success in our league, and they really wanted to be there. So it worked out for both sides. We're happy to have him.
Were you surprised that Kian Schaffer-Baker did not sign an NFL contract just based off the sheer amount of workouts that he had?
Yeah, to be honest, I think I was surprised. I said, usually the more workouts, the more buzz there is, the more chance and opportunities that are going to come from that. So I think, as they kept piling up, we still kept getting requests from NFL teams. I think we felt like an opportunity was going to come, but I think, it's also important to know that Kian really likes it in Saskatchewan as well, and it has to be the right opportunity for him to make the jump. And so we were, I think that when that window comes and goes, you're just excited when you know he's still on your team.
Have you spoken to him since the window closed?
Yeah. So, I'll give you some breaking news here, so you can be the first to report it. But Keenan actually had hip surgery recently. So he had an injury that has been bugging him really since for the last couple of years, and it's continuing to get a little bit worse each year. So after the NFL trials were done, we spoke to him about whether we should get it fixed or not, and so he was. Had a decision to make. Do you keep playing with the injury and not get better, and it continues to get worse, or do you get it fixed and come back healthy and continue your career? So with his age and the position he was in, he decided to have surgery. We're happy that he did, and he's going to be healthy. He'll probably miss a first little bit of the season. That we'll miss him for that, but we're going to get him back healthy, and he's working through rehab right now. So yeah, we actually have him in town, and he's had surgery and going through the rehab.
So he had that year last year with a hip injury. What could he do fully healthy?
Yeah, so he was fighting it. The injury didn't happen at the start of last season. It was prior to even that season. It kind of gradually got worse as the season went on. Towards the end of the year, he was struggling to practice. So he was fighting to get 1,000 yards, if you remember, last year. So the way he plays the game and the energy that he brings, and his yak yards are impressive. Like when he catches the ball, he's not a guy that gets tackled very easily, and is very strong, has good size, but very strong with the ball. So we're trying to get him healthy 100%, and he's attacking rehab like it's like there's no tomorrow, and we're excited that he got it fixed, and look forward to him coming back fresh.
So you said he's in Regina being taken care of by the Roughriders staff, and it was a Roughriders related doctor, I would guess, that did the surgery?
Yeah, he had the surgery in Regina, so he's right now working with our trainers and doing his rehab.
Can you explain, like, in any detail what it was, or how painful it was, or how it might have held him
Yeah,
back?
he had a labral tear. So with labral tears, they can progressively get worse with time. They don't really heal on their own. So it just progressively got worse. It's something that you can play through, which he has been for the last couple of years. But ultimately, it's not going to get better. It's just going to continue to get worse. So better to get it fixed now, and we're happy that he's decided to get it fixed, and he's on the road to recovery.
Once he's healthy and ready to roll, can Kian be the best receiver in this league, Canadian or American? Because it seems like he has this untapped upside, even though he was so close to 1,000 yards last year.
I think he's a heck of a receiver, and he's sky's the limit for him. He's only getting better each year. He's matured. Not that he was immature, but he's maturing as a pro, coming from youth sports and developing. And I'm just excited to see him, turn kind of into that leadership role. Right? He's been in our system for a couple years and been on our team for a couple years, and now it's time for him to become the leader and to step up in that leadership role. And but the sky's the limit. When we talk about Kian, we really don't. We don't put a nationality on him, because he's every bit as good as any of the receivers, right? So he's a darn good one, and we're happy to have him. And like I said, I'm happy that he's on his way to recovery. He's got a great attitude, and he's attacking it.
Thanks for the breaking news. We appreciate it. What's it been like to have Trevor Harris in the building now and get to know him from that perspective?
He's been great. Right from the beginning, he's got just great leadership qualities. He's all about the team. He's got a million ideas of how he's going to try to help build the team camaraderie and how he's going to bring the group together. When you make that many changes on offense, you gotta come together quick, and you gotta gel. And you got guys that haven't played together, and so he's all about that, which is great. He's the on-field stuff's going to take care of itself, but it's the off-field stuff that he's been doing, and he's been our best recruiter since he's agreed to be a Rough Rider. So that's always good that you got guys that are pulling in the right direction and selling the program that we all love.
I asked Craig Dickinson this, but you're the former offensive lineman. Could Philip Blake start at left tackle for the Riders?
Yeah. I think Philip can start across the board for us, to be honest with you, and I think that that just kind of shows his versatility. And I think that playing 12 games last year at left tackle, being on the Grey Cup championship team, and really being solid in the Grey Cup that we got to see in our own backyard. And so there is potential to do that. Ideally, we'd like our guys that we were recruited to come in and do a nice job, and then he can compete for another position. But it's nice to know that we have the guy there if we need him.
Thanks for the time, Jeremy. Appreciate it.